We live, baby. This is the Super Biased Sports Show, a place where a fan can be a fan. Look, y'all, it's about to get here. Let's tap in.
How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? Tell me how you like me now. How you like me?
I think the dude be drinking on a job, y'all. I think he be drinking on a job.
This is water.
Yeah, mixed with some Henny or something.
All right. So look, on to the next topic. Did the Bengals get robbed? Now, this one is a little touchy situation for me. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't give a yes or no to this this question only because the Bengals had opportunities to actually get the dub. So but I will say for the Bengals to be one of the least penalized teams in the league, right? It's going on 2 years in a row. So it's not like this is a one-off. This is 2 years in a row. Bengals is one of the least penalized teams in the league. For us to get the same head ref that refed us in the Super Bowl last year in the AFC Championship this year, and we get double the penalties as the Chiefs, that kind of hurts me the wrong way because I've never seen this many penalties. I've never seen a play get replayed in the fashion that it got played, and then a bailout on a play. Eli did have a flag on that one, but the play should have never been ran. Ben said Bengals talk too much for a team that ain't do nothing yet. They got what they deserve. I mean, I can't speak to a team that had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL this year. I mean, as far as it goes, the Bengals haven't lost since October up until this last game versus the Chiefs. Like, we actually played top contenders when it comes to the NFL, on the AFC side at least. So
I can't really say anything about it because you only can play who's in front of you.
Yeah, you only can play who's in front of you, but we've seen how they look when they actually play good teams, or at least teams that were somewhat comparable to.
So you saying that if Dallas made it past San Fran, that game yesterday would have been a little bit different?
I would completely agree that the game will be a lot more competitive than what it was. Because I mean, we've seen the Eagles what they look like against Dallas when both teams either had their starting quarterback and they didn't have their starting quarterback. So,
I don't know.
It could have. I'm not saying that it's not
gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I'm saying
won't be a blowout.
It would have been like a coin flip, because one,
the Cowboys got better weapons than the Giants do.
Yeah,
a better O-line.
Yeah,
but that pass rush still would have been getting to that.
And then, I mean, also another thing that I could probably say is, other than how San Fran defense played, because I mean, think about it, they stopped the Eagles on a lot of possessions, right? They stopped the Eagles on a lot of possessions. The Eagles got the catch, no catch, right, from Devonta Smith. They got the catch, no catch, right? And they struggled against the defense of the 49ers for a good amount of portion of the game until them boys wasn't producing nothing on offense. So, they got the win. They did what they supposed to do.
What game was it where the refs was stopping the game a lot? I think it was last week's game because the New York was calling in, say, hey, yo, check this play out. Check this play out. It was one game last week. I can't remember what game it was, but they did that once in the Bengals game, and not even for that catch. I don't know, man. It just was weird that game.
So look, because we personally know Ben, right? So he said, don't matter what you say. The Eagles is in the chip and the Bengals at home. Now, like, a part of me, right? So I'm gonna be honest with me personally. Like, my dad is an Eagles fan. My aunt and my uncles, they all Eagles fans, and they was hoping that we played them in the Super Bowl, right? So for me, it's kind of like for me, I'm not really rooting for either or, just because like when it comes to Kansas City, I mean, look, Sam saying Arrowhead is greater than Burrowhead, right? I could tell that it's a casual take, right? because the last championship the Bengals won, Kansas City finally beat Joe Burrow, right? They 3-1. They 1-3 versus the Bengals, right?
So now it's a rivalry too.
Now it's a rivalry, right? So that's why I can't even trip about like the casual takes, right? Because at the end of the day, we've been winning the series since Joe Burrow has been here. We've been winning the series, right? So I can't really be like, I can't be offended if they finally get one, right? If you finally beat up the person that's been beating on you every time you come to school, is everybody gonna look at you like you're the big dog? Like they're gonna be like, I mean, you gotta win, like cool. But
Oh,
I don't know.
really talking. Yeesh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's eerie about it is that we lost the same way in the Super Bowl, bro. 23-20, and it's the last play where Joe Burrow needs to make a play, and there's a lineman that's a backup get beat by one of the best defending linemen on that team, right? So as far as like us going to next year, I got a lot of confidence in my team, bro. We won 10 straight games, right? We had one of the healthiest O-lines up until the end of the season, right? We've seen if Joe Burrow has a healthy line, he's going to compete for an MVP. That's exactly what he did. That Monday night game when they canceled it against the Bills, we proved that we was going to smoke them by coming back 3 weeks later, and beating them boys, right?
Where Pedro? Hey, man.
Right. So, I mean, Q right. Joseph Asai gets blamed for the loss instead of a QB with 2 turnovers. I want y'all to do a deep dive on this. This is why I can't like. This is why I don't get mad at like the casual takes, right? If you go look at that same play, the only reason why Patrick Mahomes runs out the pocket is because BJ Hill is pressuring him up in the middle. And anytime you see a lineman on the side of a D tackle with his arm around his neck, that's a holding every single.
I was when they replayed it, I'm like,
fix it. That's a hold. And mind you, it's Patrick Mahomes, BJ Hill, and the lineman in front of him, and then it's the referee behind them. It's right in the ref's face. The only reason why Patrick Mahomes runs out the pocket is because BJ Hill is coming in his face with the pressure. Joseph Osai, remember, this is Joseph Osai's first full season. He didn't play last year. He was a rookie. He got hurt in the offseason, didn't play at all. His first full season. He turning up in the game. Adrenaline get him. It sucks, but it shouldn't even have gotten to that point because it's a flag right in front of the ref face. So it's like,
so pretty much if it goes like how you said, both plays cancel out, replay down, and there's 8 seconds left. Nothing is really going to happen with no timeouts.
Come on now, the game would have
overtime.
Game would have went to overtime, and we seen what the Bengals do to the Chiefs in overtime. It's history that proves everything I'm saying. That's why I'm not like, I can't even get up.
My question is this: even after all of that, how do y'all feel that the AFC is going to beat the NFC?
So
I
look,
just don't see it.
You guys know me. I said AFC winning the next 5, right? I ain't gonna lie. These Chiefs fans got me feeling some type of way, bro. Because it's just like, yo, y'all finally get a win on us, and y'all talking like y'all been doing this, right? They talking like they've been dominant for the last 20 years. Mind you, Chiefs' first championship in the modern day football era is 2019. You got to go all the way back to 1969 to see their championship when football was just being formed together like football, right? When it wasn't like the AFL and the NFL anymore, right? 1969, right? So their most current championship is 2019, right? So they talking like they've been this big dog for so long, right? So, I mean, I got to respect it. Them boys, they win. It is what it is. You know, they've been on the losing side of Joe Burrow for the last 3 matchups. It's hard to beat somebody 4 times in a row. With all of their injuries, I don't know how they're going to beat the Eagles, bro. I don't know how they're going to beat the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting game. I guess we could choose who we think going to win. I had said the Eagles from the get-go. I really don't want to deal with them dumb fans. Honestly, that's just my only thing. I want NFC to win, but then it's like, they make no. I don't. So I'm gonna go with my homeboy on this one.
Yo,
Eagles fans is
Ben said Chiefs or Bengals can't protect the QB. Philly with an A, bro. One thing I gotta say to that is, by the time if we would have made a Super Bowl, those 2 weeks would have gave us Jonah Williams back and Alex Kappa back, and we would have 4 members of our starting line back, and we would have kicked our left tackle back over to the right. I wouldn't be so confident in the fact that they would have been tearing them up, because if you go back and look at the tape, when Joe Burrow got all 5 of his linemen in, he gets sacked about 1 time a game. He gets sacked about 1 time a game, and I think we went like 7 games where he was only sacked 4 times total. So if one thing, Joe Burrow gets the ball out quick, they don't got the corners to cover the receivers, I can't say I would be so confident that they'll get that many sacks versus us.
Mm-hmm. Who you got, Trenton?
Oh, we doing the picks. I'm still so. My pick has always been Philly. I've been saying that. I've been on record. Y'all could go back and check the tape. But half of me wants Kansas City to win because of and I hate to be so as a Cowboys fan, I hate to be lumped in with all Cowboys fans because there's like this group that's extremely delusional and they say stupid stuff, and then everybody comes and attacks me and I don't say those stupid things. So I feel the same way for these Eagles fans. I know a handful of Eagles fans that's good dudes, and I would love to see that their team win it and congratulate them and all of that. But then there is the mass majority of Eagles fans that have already crowned themselves Super Bowl champions. They still coming in talking wild. It blows my mind. I do Cowboys content on the solos, side, right? And an Eagles fan just comes in talking wild. While I'm like, yo, I gave y'all your credit. I shouted y'all out.
Damn
congratulations, this and that. Still coming in talking wild. So it's like, part of me is like, I'm torn. Like, my pick is still Philly, but if they lose, I'm going live with everybody else, and I'm laughing and I'm talking jokes because some of them is ruining it for the rest of them. So it's like, yo, my thing is just be humble. Like, y'all made it. Like, Philly was supposed to make it. They unlike Buffalo, they held up their end of the bargain. Like, Philly was supposed to make it, and they got it. So it's like, y'all were literally the best team in the NFL all year long. So it's like, it wasn't really a question of if they were going to do it, so I'm still sticking with them now. Pedro, who you got?
So both my teams that I chose to go to the Super Bowl are out. So
you bad luck. You bad luck.
I had San Fran and I had the Bills, obviously. I have to go with Philly. Just for the pure share of, if you just look at the stats alone, like, they have the better defensive line, where majority of their defensive line are double digit with sacks. Mahomes did show a little struggle with his mobility during the Chiefs or during the Cincy game. So that alone, I think they can contain him. And you got Sue as a backup on that defensive line.
Right.
So that, you know what I mean? So they have plenty of depth to keep rotating that out. I just think they have a way more powerful, and I mean, I believe they should have a way to contain Kelsey. With also, I was looking at that game against the Cincy. Pacheco is going to be something to mess with, especially at least in fantasy next year. Like, he is definitely getting picked up. You know what I mean? He is
in the dynasty team.
He
already in the dynasty team.
He's going to be something. He's playing with heart, especially in that game. He was doing something. So I think it's going to be a very. I'm going to say the score is going to be 24-35 Eagles, man. I think it's going to be something high. You know what I mean? It's going to be a great game, though. I truly believe that. So
I will say, to piggyback off of what Trenton is saying, T-Time, if the Eagles win, it's like he already knows Dallas is going to get a lot of flack and pushback just because y'all are Dallas. Like, they're not even going to give you the same much energy to the Giants fans as they're going to give to Dallas. The Eagles fans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is just going to be so unbearable. Their animosity and energy won't even be towards the team that they beat. It'll just be towards teams in their division, mainly the Cowboys. Like,
not even teams, just Dallas. Like, they are literally. I'm like, yo, we not even playing y'all. Like, we out, and they still like they're going. I'm like, all morning long. I'm like, bro, stop commenting on my video. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I told you congratulations. Like, now I even said fly Eagles fly, and then I'm like, yo, I hope they die. Like, forget that. You know what I mean? Like, you just ruining it. Like, they going crazy for no reason.
But I think so far in this playoffs, the better quarterback has won.